Hello everyone, this is Fabio and welcome back. And today it's time for the pickups of February. I'm a bit late, not too much, but I was just waiting to do this video, waiting for the end of the month basically, and then I forgot to do it a couple of days ago. So here we are with the pickups for last month now. I managed to gather pretty interesting stuff, mainly DVDs and games, like always. There's nothing too exceptional this time. I mean, no soundtracks, no art book, but those are a bit more difficult to gather. But I'm very happy with these pickups. Hope you're interested. And let's just start it like always with the DVDs, so I can talk about the games later. Um, Interesting enough, we've got three DVDs, and they're all animated stuff because I love animated, like cartoons, anime, um, those kind of stuff. I love it. So the first one I want to talk about, it's Legend of Korra Season 3, Book 3 Change, actually, not season, but it's the same. This to me, it's I already watched all of it. We know that Legend of Korra recently ended with the end of Book 4. A very interesting ending, by the way. I highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. The season per se was nothing special, I think. It was not bad, but the overall feeling that I had from it was of kind of a disappointment because it was very predictable, especially certain parts that were so obvious to me. And also, I found it very rushed in a way. I mean, we waited for months between season 1 and season 2, and also I think between book 2 and 3. We waited for months. Between book 3 and 4, we waited for weeks, I think. It started very close to the end of season 3. It was really, wow, already. Okay, I'm not complaining more Korra, but then after it really felt rushed. But I liked the ending. It was unexpected in a way. I think that they said, well, since we're not going down because it's still a successful show, but since we'll finish it, let's finish with a bang. I didn't expect that, but I like it very much. I really like what they did um, with the ending of season 4 and the entire show. But the sad news is that that will be the final Avatar thing. I mean, Legend of Korra. In that universe. So for now, no more this kind of Avatar stuff. And that's really sad, but also kind of obvious to me. But I don't want to go too much into this. Let's just talk about season 3. That this is, as I said, to me the best of the Korra series. Season 2 was good. I like season 2, although there is all the criticism for the teen drama. It's just a couple of episodes. It's not all like that. At the beginning, it's very good. There are a couple of episodes like that, yes. But then when we move back to the interesting stuff with Avatar Wang and then the final battle, that is great stuff actually. And I love season 3 mainly because of its dark tone. It's the darker season of Korra. And maybe in a way that's what caused its downfall in a way, because this is a Nickelodeon show and this is a really dark show. I mean, there is some really twisted killing in a way. I mean, it's so awesome. I love it. The only thing that I'm not crazy about season 3 is the main villain. It's a bit disappointing to me, but simply because it's not charismatic or inspiring enough like others. I think that they played their best card with Unalaq and Batu in season 2, and then you say, oh, what now? Zahir is not bad, Kuvira is not bad, but I think that nothing can top the level of badness of Unalaq and Batu. I mean, come on, the ultimate spirit of darkness. What can top that? Other than an anarchist and a sort of fascist? I mean, not inspiring, as I said. But still, this is a fantastic show. This is the best season of that show to me. Highly recommended. I love Legend of Korra. I really, really like this show. They could have done so much more with it, but still, it's still a really good show. Next, we got a fantastic movie. I love this movie. I love the director, and I've watched this years ago, so many years ago that I almost forgot the movie. I mean, I didn't remember anything about it when I rewatched it, but I was so happy And while I was watching it, everything was coming back to me, and that it's The Castle of Cagliostro uh, by Miyazaki. This is one of his best movies to me. I mean, it's so good, it's so funny. I remember when I was in between elementary school and middle school watching the Lupin cartoon. It was a lot of fun. Then I remember watching this movie and loved it because it's so cool. Like I didn't remember the ending, for example, that I really liked it, especially now. But the characters are timeless. I mean, Lupin and its two companions, like the old gangster, the samurai. I mean, I always found the samurai ridiculous, but very cool at the same time. And one of my favorite characters is actually the Inspector Zenigata. I mean, he's so funny in a way. I mean, he's obsessed with capturing Lupin. But this is a really cool movie. Highly recommend it. If you like Miyazaki, you must watch this because to me, it's one of its best movies. They're all good, of course, but this is so cool and funny and absolutely hilarious. Highly recommended The Castle of Cagliostro. And finally, I never watched this, I have to be honest. I was incredibly curious about it for a long time, and I don't know why I kind of avoided it at first, because the movie that was before it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, and I wasn't really digging it, the series. I say, well, let's wait when it's more cheap or when I want to like go into this universe again. And it's basically years after I decided to buy this because recently I watched the Nostalgia Critic reviews of the movies and of this DVD, and in a way it made me want to rewatch the entire series. And what I got here is the Animatrix. Um, what is my opinion on the Matrix movie? Haha, that's a good question because I really need to rewatch the series. I watched the first Matrix movie when it was released in '99. What was it? 1999, I think. Um, and I liked it for what it was because I think it was a bit too young for those movies. Not they're violent or anything, but the overall idea of the movie, which is, I agree with him. It's nothing particularly groundbreaking or new, but it's still cool. And I love the second one because of the action. I didn't care about the rest of it. I mean, that highway fight, it's phenomenal still today. And I hate the third one. I mean, like everybody else, I hated the third one, but because I was looking for something like Reloaded for awesome action with special effects and stuff like that. Nothing more. I didn't care about the symbolism, all the other meanings. I ignored that. But I was pretty young when I watched those movies, and I really want to watch them again. So after Revolutions, that I really didn't like it, I wasn't into Matrix, and I didn't want to watch any Matrix, even though the idea was kind of cool to expand the universe of that series and into this different way with anime or at least animation. And watching some reviews, I thought, well, this looks kind of cool. It's an series of short movies based on the Matrix universe, and some of them look really cool. Actually, I can't wait to watch this. Actually, and watching this probably at the same time I want to rewatch the entire trilogy. I had the first two, of course. I didn't buy Revolution at the time because I hated it. I will give it another shot sooner or later, but since I don't have the movies with me there in Italy, but I'm really curious about Animatrix now because of the style of different movies, but also like the concept of the Matrix and everything. Now I think I can appreciate it more, other than the action, of course, the action scenes. Um, Again, watching with a really neutral mind in a way. I'm not looking for being blown away by the meanings and everything because watching this review, some of the stuff are really obvious. It's really obvious sometimes, but there's nothing wrong with it. I love my action movies, and if they're deeper or more interesting, they're more than welcome. I mean, there's nothing wrong. It's not. I'm not looking for this movie to change my life or something like that. So I really want to rewatch the Matrix movies because I remember that I liked the first two, and watching them again and looking at it just more of like for the action. I mean, why not? It's been years since I watched The Matrix. I mean, I think I haven't watched these movies at least in 10 years. So I kind of want to watch them again, actually. So really curious. I'll watch this in these days. I haven't got the time yet, but can't wait to watch the Animatrix. And that's it for the DVDs. So only three, but mainly like series, one movies, and short movies. So, but I was really interested, especially in the Animatrix. I really want to watch the Matrix again for whatever reason. And let's move on to the games. Got 5 games. One of them I cannot show you because I bought it on Steam. And the game, I was triggered buying this game by another gaming podcast. I was listening to not the last episode, the one before, the one of January, yes, and they were both all like Laggy Gamer, Dustin Christ, and Doomwaves. They were talking about Wolfenstein, both New Order and the series in general. I think, if I remember well, I don't listen to that in a while now, and listen to all of that. Of course, I want to buy and play New Order, but since I don't have my PS3 here and I don't own a PS4, I haven't bought it yet. But it will happen, of course, when I know that I'm going home for at least more than a day. I will buy New Order because I really want to play it. Wolfenstein is my favorite id series. Sorry, Chance, it's not Doom, but I love Wolfenstein. And for this reason, I thought I really want to play Wolfenstein 3D again. It's been ages. I want to play that game again. So I bought it on Steam. I know that probably I could have found it like for free on the internet or whatever, but I really wanted like to have the game with me and a normal copy, and it's not expensive on Steam. I think I spent £3, so I can still manage spending £3 for an old game. It doesn't bother me at all. And when I bought it, I started playing it and I couldn't stop. I mean, I think I played like 3 hours consecutively, just Wolfenstein 3D, going on and playing and playing and playing. It's so good. I remember when I played for the first time, soon after it was released. I mean, I didn't own at the time like a legit copy. I didn't even remember how things worked back then. But like a friend of mine actually gave me the game on, I don't remember if it was a CD or a floppy disk, I don't even remember. And I played it back then. It was fantastic. Then it brought everything back playing now. It's such a phenomenal game. Yes, it's really old and it's really bare-bone first-person shooter. It's basically what, not created, but what standardized many things of the modern first-person shooters. And it's such a cool game. There's nothing you can do. I mean, and it's also very hard. I didn't remember it to be this difficult. Like, I play the game all the time maximum difficulties because I remember like the higher difficulties have more enemies, so it gives in a way a sense of satisfaction killing more Nazis because there's like double number of enemy. But it's also very tough. I didn't remember being this difficult, but I'm having a blast. I'm not playing all days, of course, but quite often because it's such a fun game. Even though it's very simple and everything, it's fantastic. I mean, I didn't remember it to love this so much, and I'm having a blast playing Wolfenstein here and there. And it's again, it's so nostalgic because it's not the first-person shooter that I play, but it's one of the first. So it's super nostalgic, but also it's such a fun game. It's simply that. It's very fun. It's a lot of fun, and it makes me want to play New Order even more if it's possible. It's really one of the games I wanted to play the most. New Order, since listen to, as I said, AGP, they recommend the game so much. I mean, the way they talk about it, I really want to play that game. So yeah, Wolfenstein 3D. I don't know if I should recommend it. It's one of the most famous games of all time. I mean, it's super famous. If you haven't played it, go buy it right now or download it or whatever because it's a classic. It's really old school, but it's so much fun. Next, we got some games for the PSP. I didn't buy much because I want to finish a couple of games first before buying news. But I showed this game in my Games I've Been Playing video, and I was really curious. As I explained, uh, I got a story with this series. I got it and I don't have it at the same time. I know it's a bit weird, but the game is Silent Hill Origins for the PSP, as I said. And the prequel of the first game, if I'm correct, because my history with Silent Hill, my knowledge of the Silent Hill series, it's very limited. Because as I mentioned in my previous video, I don't own a single Silent Hill game until now. I bought recently Silent Hill 1, but I haven't played it yet because, as I said, my PlayStation 1 is in Italy, so I don't have the chance to play very often. And that's it. With Origins, these are the only Silent Hill games that I own now. Because the first time that I saw and played Silent Hill was years ago, and I was at my friend's house. Was my schoolmates, classmates, and we were really good friends. And we went to the same place in the mountains. So usually, like in the autumn, winter, we went every weekend in the mountains for skiing. But during the day, we basically see each other every day to play video games. We went to the arcade. Uh, he came to my house. I went to his home. I mean, a lot of fun, a lot of gaming, fantastic. And he had much more games than me, um, mainly because I think his father liked liked gaming. He played a lot of games, so that helped. That helped him having more games, much more regularly than I did. I mean, for me, it was basically birthday and Christmas, or some rare occasion during the year. For him, it was much more often. I mean, he had so many games compared to me. I was very jealous. And one day I was at this place in the mountains, and I saw Silent Hill. And at the time, we were in high school. I was in high school at the time, and I was reading a lot of video game magazines for during the PlayStation era. I heard about Silent Hill. I read about it, and also during those years, I was getting really into survival horror because of Resident Evil. So I heard about Silent Hill and I was really curious about it because I heard that I said to him, can we try it? I read that it's very good, it's supposed to be really creepy, but in a different way from Resident Evil, because Resident Evil games are not creepy or scary. So I was really curious to try this game. But at the same time, my friend was one of those people who actually don't like to play one-player games with other people. He always wanted to play at least multiplayer games, like sports game, fighting games, whatever you can play together. I nothing against that, of course, but at the same time, I don't mind watching someone else playing a single-player game. Um, so we could play and share the controller, and you can play a one-player game with other people, of course. It's not impossible. I wasn't sure. No, 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 no. Let's do something else. Let's do something else. It's a one-player game. I don't really want to play. I insisted because I really want to watch this game. I mean, come on, man, let me show you this game. I'm really curious. You know that I love these games. And after a while, you're like, okay, let's try it. So we played for like 15 minutes or something like that. I was running around Silent Hill, but it was like, oh, come on, come on. I don't want to play this anymore. Let's do something else. Okay. So that's it. That's my entire experience with Silent Hill until now. I played 15 minutes of the first game. It looked good. Yeah, Silent Hill was kind of creepy. I was running around with the fog and everything. That's it. I think I didn't even fight once in a game yet. Of course, I didn't explore the story. Nothing, nothing at all. That was my entire experience with Silent Hill. Also because moving on to the next generation, I didn't know that Silent Hill 2 was available for Xbox because I didn't own a PS2. I passed to Xbox because I wanted to play Halo, basically. And I didn't know that Silent Hill 2 was available there. And then others, I think. I don't know about Silent Hill 3. I'm pretty sure that The Room was there, but at the time I kind of lost my interest in Silent Hill because I said, I missed the first one, what's the point now? Because I don't know if I have to play them in order, that's the thing. Maybe there is a chronology, maybe there isn't. I'm not entirely sure actually at all. So when I saw Origins for PSP, I thought, well, who cares? I want to try a Silent Hill games. I heard so many good and bad things at the same time about the entire series, and I still love survival horror games. I realize that don't have any on my handheld collection. I don't have anything on the DS, not yet for the Vita, I just bought it, and nothing for the PSP. So I said, but that could be interesting to have an handheld survival horror. So let's try Silent Hill. And I play only 2 hours of it because other games are taking most of my time. But so far I liked it. I'm trying to play as you should play, like with the headphones, with the line turned off, and it's not scary at all yet. I mean, they trying to create more of a disturbing atmosphere, I think, with these really weird places. Because I did the entire part of the hospital, and yeah, I mean, it was kind of creepy in a way, but not scary. I mean, scary, it's another thing, but I'm a bit weird with being scared by movies and games. It's not that easy to scare me. And not that I'm saying, oh, I'm brave, I'm never afraid, but it's kind of long to explain. Let's just move on. But I'm really happy to finally have a Silent Hill game. I really want to explore this series more, and I think that Origin could be an interesting way to start. I mean, it's technically it's the first chronologically, but as I say, I'm not sure about if I have to play them in order or not. Let me know, because I really don't know. And it's a series that I always wanted to explore, but kind of lost interest in interesting progressively. But now I got at least one game, and I can play more than 15 minutes. Next, this is a game that I wanted for my entire life, basically. But of course, the game was never released in Europe. I only read about it, and I really, really, really wanted to play this. Then, technically, this game was not released in Europe, even on the PSP, but thank God the PSP it's region free, so I can play the North American version. And the game it's none other. I finally got this Lunar Silver Star Harmony. I finally have a friggin' Lunar game. I wanted to play these games since they were created, but of course, like the game, as I said, they were not released in Europe, not on the Sega CD, of course, not on the PS1, and technically not on the PSP. It was not released in Europe, as I said. At least the PSP is region free, so I can play it. And I cannot wait to play the Lunar. It's one of the series that always haunted me. It's so nostalgic how much I am pissed off by this, by the fact that Lunar was not released, because it's tormented me for decades, basically. I always wanted to play Lunar, and I'm so pissed off that we didn't have Eternal Blue on the PSP. I don't know why. Probably was not a huge seller on the PSP. I mean, an RPG on the PSP, I can see why Exceed didn't continue it, but it's so cool. It's an Exceed game. I mean, of course, I know it's Game Arts, but you know what I mean. And I cannot wait to play this game. I mean, it's at least I can play the first one. I'm really curious about playing the second one, but still, I'm so happy to finally having a Lunar game. It's one of the series that haunted me for my entire life. I mean, I always wanted to play it because I love Game Arts so much. Because they made Grandia. I'm a huge Grandia fan, and I cannot wait to play the Lunar. And of course, in the future, I'm trying to buy the PS1 games, like those special edition by. Oh god, I forgot the name now. Uh, I completely forgot the name. Who did that? The translation. Working Design, right? Yes, I'm pretty sure. I completely forgot it. I think it's Working Design. I did that. Both the translation and those gorgeous special editions. Those are the one I want, but those are just in North America. So, for example, I cannot buy them on Amazon. I have to buy it on eBay, but I cannot play them now. So we'll see in the future. I'm definitely going to buy those because I really, really, really want to play all the Lunar games, the main games. I'm not sure about the side games like the Game Boy Advance version. I don't know about that. I heard it's very bad, but we'll see. But at least I got the first one on PSP, and yeah, I will play this soon. I just have to finish a couple of games before. And Next, we're moving to the PS Vita. Yes, I bought a new system recently. I made an entire unboxing video, and I'm super excited. I love it. I'm loving it so far. I really like the Vita, and only have 2 games yet because just bought it. And also, you don't need to buy physical games so often because of its huge potential thanks to the PS Network Store. Already found one that I really want to buy, a PlayStation 1 Classic. But so far, the first game that I bought, it's kind of different from the games I usually play, but I'm really interested in it, and that is Gravity Rush. Um, really don't know what to expect, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I was really curious when I was watching like images and shots and videos about it. It looks very interesting, and I want to try different stuff, not always like RPG, RPG, RPG. I want to play something different here and there. Of course, RPGs are my favorite, but this looks very interesting. From what I'm looking, it also like use the different functions of the Vita, like the touchscreen, the motion sensors. I'm really curious about it. But for the moment, I mean, Gravity Rush, really curious, but it has to wait because the main focus of not only my Vita attention, but my gaming attention in general, of course, it's the game that I bought, like the game that made me buy the Vita, and that is, of course, Ys Memories of Celceta. I'm a huge Ys fan, of course, and I was so pissed off that before I bought the Vita, I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss this game. It looks so good, and it's part of the Chapter 4 saga that I completely missed because both Mask of the Sun and Dawn of Ys are not available normally, I mean, legally in the West. I'm not really good into PC, ISOs, and those kind of stuff, so I don't have uh, unlegitimate copies of those games, even though I want to play them so badly, because I have a feeling that if I play Dawn of Ys, it might become my favorite Ys game. It's just a feeling. But since my favorite games are still the run and bump Ys games, Book 1 and 2, it's still my favorite at the moment. But I love this modern Ys game as well. I mean, and I almost finished this. I almost finished this. I just have to beat the final boss, basically. I got 99% of the map. I'm so pissed off if I'm not going to get 100%. Because if so little is missing, I have no idea where I should be looking. So, that's annoying, but I love these modern Ys games very, very much. I'll do, of course, a discussion video about it, because I have a lot of good things to say about it. But let me just say that it's phenomenal. I'm loving every second of it. Um, and I'm so happy. But as I said, of course, when I bought the Vita, I said, I should look for some games. Oh, of course, Celceta. That's the game it made me buy the Vita. There's also Phantasy Star Nova. That was the other game that I was really excited about for whatever reason, but of course Sega, it's not going to release it to the West. I mean, what a surprise! But at least we still have Celceta, and not only I was very excited for this. Um, I know I don't have the Silver Anniversary edition. It was too expensive. Maybe they're always expensive when they release, but I refuse to spend like £80 for a PS Vita game. And it's way too much. I will just buy the soundtrack separately, as I did, for example, with Chelsea in the Sky. Um, it's not that I don't want to give my support to these companies. They deserve every second, every penny of it. But it's just too much for a single game, spending almost as much as the Vita. It's too much for me. I really, really want to support companies like, who was this, NIS, or Exceed, or Ghostlight, or whatever you want. But if these boxes are so expensive, I really cannot. I cannot spend £80 for a special edition. I'm sorry. I mean, if I can, like I did for the third birthday and Fate Extra, but because they were like under £30, which is still a lot of money for example, PSP games. I really, really wanted to buy the special editions of these 2 games. Of course, as you can see, I don't have the special edition of Lunar either. But it was more than £100. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm not going to spend so much for a single PSP game. And this was still expensive. I know that it's expensive. Luckily, this was a birthday for a Christmas present from a good friend of mine, and I almost like started to cry when I gave it to me. I forgot to mention, like, yeah, I got a little surprise for you, Fabri. Lunar was like, oh my god, Lunar! So yeah, the same with Ease. I really, really, really wanted the special edition, but it cost like almost 4 or 5 times more than regular one. I say, no, I'm sorry. I really wanted it, but it's too expensive. So maybe I'm disappointed. I don't care at the end, but the only thing is those special editions are gorgeous. I really wanted them, but they're too expensive. I don't want to spend too much money on games. And that's it. Some really good games, I think. Really interesting, all of them. Having a blast with Wolfenstein. I forgot to mention in my video that I'm playing in my previous video that I'm playing Wolfenstein. I think I don't remember if I mentioned it. I'm really tired. Sorry about that. Playing a lot of Ease. A lot of Ease. I'm almost finishing. I cannot wait. Maybe today I'll finish it, or these days. I don't know. We'll see. Interesting movies. Yeah. I think gather interesting stuff. Really happy with it. Now I have to go and play Ease if I have the time, or we'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. Like always, hope you find it interesting. Like you like these pickups. I'll see you next time and take care.